moving into our what just happened segment. So much is happening so quickly, and certainly a lot has happened since our last recording a couple of weeks ago. But maybe you can share with us, Bridget, a little bit about the model releases that we've seen in the last week to 10 days.
Yeah, there's been a lot of action in the model releases. The first is the first one I'll update everybody on is Google introduced this AI co-scientist, and I can only describe what this is. This is not something I have played with at all. I'm not even sure I have access to it, but it's a multi-agent system that is built to help researchers with hypothesis generation and experiments. So it's in service of better science and faster scientific discovery. So it's kind of exciting, and I'll be eager to see what it produces. And then most of the other frontier companies also had releases since you and I last recorded. Elon Musk's AI company, xAI, released Grok 3, which is its latest large language model that was trained on a massive supercomputer. It's apparently 10 times the compute of the previous state of the art model, and it's an advanced reasoning model that apparently has benchmarks coming in better than OpenAI and Google models, at least in some areas. I will say the million interesting things about this particular model, which is for another day. But for the legal profession, I don't know if you saw this, Jen, but one of the things that xAI advertised when it was released was that it was going to displace courts, that you could take all of your legal questions and legal disputes directly to Grok 3, and it would handle it for you in no time and for no money. I mean, it seems like Elon Musk has a lot else to do, so I don't think that the Grok 3 is probably going to replace courts tomorrow. But it was a pretty interesting signal that at least xAI views the legal profession as a target. I don't know. We'll see. Moving on to Anthropic, which is the company that builds the Claude model, which I think you and I both use pretty regularly. I still do. They released the latest model, Claude 3.7 Sonnet, which is a hybrid reasoning model. It can switch back and forth between quick answers to questions that don't require deliberation and step-by-step problem solving, and then to the problem, and then back to a reasoning model that does require that kind of thinking, if we can anthropomorphize again. And you can ask it, therefore, simple questions or complex questions, and you don't have to switch back and forth between models, which is something you still have to do with OpenAI. And I don't know if you have this experience, but I will sometimes pull up my ChatGPT account and it's in O1 or O3. It's in a reasoning model because that's what I was using the last time I had it open, but I have just a simple question. And it starts, over reasoning for the simple question. And I'm like, oh God, come on, ChatGPT. I didn't mean for you to like give me a 10-step answer to my simple question, which is something that the I think all of these companies are going to solve before long. In fact, I think Dario Amodei said it on a Hard Fork podcast this week. They're all getting to a place where the model should be able to figure out how much reasoning is needed to answer the question instead of the user having to figure out and make sure you're in the right model when you ask the question. Um, that's coming. And then finally, OpenAI rolled out GPT 4.5 to sort of mixed reviews. I don't know if you've been following that at all. It's advertised as imperfect, but getting there on the way to GPT-5, which was also part of the telling us that GPT-5 was coming, was kind of part of the GPT 4.5 release. GPT 4.5 is allegedly a little bit sort of friendlier and a model that you'll want to hang out with a little more, to the extent that's a thing. But even Sam Altman in his sort of posts about it was like, yeah, it's expensive and it's getting there, but hang on, GPT-5 is coming soon. I don't know exactly what that means, but it sounds like by spring sometime. That's where we're going to get that the model that combines all the capabilities into one place. At least that's what it sounds like GPT-5 is going to do. So we're not going to have to think through whether we're in a reasoning model or a non-reasoning model when we ask questions. So that was a lot. Did I miss anything? Was
No,
some
I mean, we probably always miss things, but those were the highlights, and, you know, I played around a little bit with 4.5. It doesn't really feel all that different to me. I know people say it's friendlier, it has, like, a more lovely personality. For me, like, I use Claude for personality. I think Claude has, like, a very nice personality, and we'll talk in a minute about, like, some of the answers Claude gave us as compared to ChatGPT, but I am very much looking forward to the day when we don't have to select among these models because I don't really know how to choose I mean, it gives you, like, little hints, but I don't really know. It makes me think of, this little sign my mom bought me that sits by my computer that says, like, "Hold on while I overthink this." And
Yeah.
that's, like, what I what I feel like with the reasoning models. Sometimes they're like, "Oh, right, I did not mean, like, for an advanced PhD level response to this. I just need to know something simple." But all of the releases are really showing how advanced the capabilities are, and I have really enjoyed actually Claude 3.7, Sonnet, and, Dario Amodei said that they will soon be connected to the internet, and I'm curious in my own experience whether I will then migrate to using Claude more frequently because I mainly use ChatGPT because it's connected to the internet and Claude isn't.
Yeah, I know. That'll be interesting to see. I think a lot of people feel that way. I mean, right now, I think ChatGPT holds on to most users because of that functionality that people have come to expect, and so it is curious that it's taken the Anthropic team this long. But I don't know. They've been, they have other things that I think we all like about their models. So we'll see.
Thank you for tuning in to 2030 Vision, AI and the Future of Law. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast and leave a review. Stay informed and inspired as we continue to explore the AI-driven future of the legal profession. We'll see you next time.